What is going on, my broskies? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Finally getting this video up for you guys using Saint Jaygarcia Saturn up against the Heavenly Demon number 2 content. And, you know, I actually recorded this quite a long time ago, just never got around to getting that video up. Of course, I had a random illness over the last week or so, unfortunately didn't get too many videos uploaded over the following week, but obviously we got a lot of stuff to look forward to, moving forward into, like, tonight. As of the day of this video going up, we're going to get the official reveal for part 3 of the 11th anniversary Sugo Fest. We've already made a video in the past, over the last couple of days. We talked about what kind of characters we could potentially see during that Sugo Fest. I'm really hoping that we do get the reveal of Garling. I think Garling would be a massive release to not only just be a really, like, kind of a cool, new, popular character that a lot of people would like to get their hands on, but ultimately being another support unit for Jaygarcia Saturn, I think is just something that we desperately need. Such a missed opportunity that they didn't give us any more support for, you know, the other Celestial Dragon characters, the other free-to-play Celestial Dragon characters not receiving any random buffs, kind of like how Kizaru got those free-to-play Clash characters with random buffs to make Kizaru way more usable. And to be honest, even just with the way that Kizaru is kind of designed, he probably didn't even need those units to come out to make Kizaru even good, because just the way that he is kind of designed, how his captain ability can almost become like a rainbow ability, I think that kind of ability really holds him in good stead. But then you've got Saturn, which Saturn is a really good legend. I really do like his design. The only real I guess there's two major downfalls in my opinion with his design currently right now. The fact that he doesn't have any utility in his captain effect, I think could be a potential issue moving forward in the future. But then again, if we get more support characters for the 5 elders in the future, there may be ones that do have utility in their captain effect. And my assumption is that the future elders are going to have the same kind of effect, where they're going to have massive cooldowns, but then each of their captain effects gives a bunch of cooldown to characters that are 5 elder or celestial dragons. That's going to be my assumption moving forward. I have a feeling that the design space is kind of like set in stone right now in terms of how Saturn is kind of designed, and I feel like we can extrapolate that to how they could potentially design the characters in the future, you know? So we'll have to wait and see exactly what they have planned, and I'm sure we will probably sometime this year we're going to get more information in regards to you know, other 5 elder legends that may release, because you know, that's going to be pretty sick to see a potential full batch of these 5 elder legends. That's going to be pretty cool. But of course, in terms of when that's going to happen, we don't necessarily know yet. But considering we have Saturn being a Super Sugo Fest exclusive and the design the way that he is, my assumption is that the rest of them will be kind of similar. But again, I don't see them releasing, like, you know, 4 other Super Sugos in one batch. Like, that would be kind of strange. I don't really understand how they're going to do it. Either way, I guess we can kind of talk about the team composition that we have here up against the Heavenly Demon number 2. Of course, with the way that Saturn is designed, you want to run characters that are 5 Elders, Celestial Dragon, or Navy, and because of the lack of 2 of those tags, we are kind of, you know, shoehorned into using some Navy characters on the team, which does kind of suck. In this team comp, though, we're going to use versus Akainu. This character's pretty good, giving us an orb boost for Driven and Powerhouse, and also giving a chain lock, which is really good against that Pika stage. And then we are also using the Bluegrass Rare Recruit that debuted alongside Saint Jaygarcia Saturn. The reason why this is good, though, is because just having another Driven character on the team actually allows us to get the Rush Sugo special. Remember, with how Saturn works, in order for you to get the Rush, you need to have, you need to be on the final stage, you need to activate the Saturn special, but then the really annoying thing that could be an issue in some teams is you need 3 Driven characters on the crew. So obviously, Saturn counts as 1. If you have double Saturn, that's your second. And then for the third one, well, there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. In this team, we've actually got a lot of Driven characters. We've got Akainu, we have Bluegrass, and we have Blackbeard. So that's a pretty cool team comp that we have for this one. And honestly, this team absolutely destroyed Heavenly Demon number 2. You know, sometimes these you know, GARP challenge level 2 difficulties for Rev Army and Heavenly Demon can be quite frustrating to get through sometimes with, like, just really annoying gimmicks. But all things considered, like, this was actually a really impressive team. Got through it pretty comfortably without too many issues, which I was kind of surprised about. And I think that out of all of the 11th anniversary, like, Super Sugo Fest exclusives that have come out so far, the character that I had the most fun with and the most, or like I should say the easiest time to showcase was Kizaru. That character is absolutely busted, and I feel like if you don't think that Kizaru is like a top level character in the game, then you just don't understand how Treasure Cruise works. Kizaru is absolutely busted. And I did honestly find, like, building the teams with Saturn very frustrating. However, once you have the team built, the act of getting through the content was actually pretty good with Saturn. It's just the actual act of getting the team together, figuring out what characters are actually going to be good up against the content that you're about to challenge. That was the kind of issue that I found with him. But once you get that team organized, the ease of use was crazy, because once you activate that Saturn special and get, you know, upwards of over a 4 times attack boost, like, that's just crazy. Like, the amount of damage you're getting is pretty absurd. Plus the fact that Saturn has a pretty phenomenal captain ability in terms of damage potential. And then with Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, like, I get why they exist, but it really does hurt the fact that it counts as, you know, Luffy and Zoro and Sanji, and they're not a damage dealing special, so you lose out on some supports and stuff. And also, to use the EX Super, you need to run, like, Straw Hats and very specific units. And yeah, just the team comp with Luffy, Zoro, Sanji was really, really finicky. I do feel like in most cases, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji are going to be kind of relegated to be using as a friend captain, just due to the fact that, you know, they're pretty annoying to team build with. But I do think that all of the Super Sugo Fest exclusives that have come out during the celebration have all been like, extremely powerful, very, very good units. But in terms of the overall sheer quality of these units, I do definitely think that the 10th anniversary was much better. These characters are definitely strong, don't get me wrong, but I think that the craziness that we had during the 10th anniversary is kind of unparalleled, you know what I mean? But that's going to wrap it up for me for this one, just a brief discussion about what we could potentially see moving forward for this guy. And as of today, of course, we are going to be having the reveal of the third part of the anniversary celebration, so we'll see what we have in store there. Hopefully you enjoyed the video though, and if you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
Reynathan! 触るな、虫ども。